Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the N64 Memories Podcast. Welcome to episode 2. Thank you for joining us. I'm really happy that you're here. And I'm really excited about this episode because I've got a special guest joining me. And he's N64 Memories subscriber, N64 enthusiast, and former Twitter legend. It's E. How you doing, mate?
Hey, very good. How are you?
I'm good, yeah. Just for the audience, you don't realise, we haven't actually spoken or met before today, have we?
Not other than SMS, no.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, like
let's.
we've been following each other on social media for years, but it's really great to actually like speak to you face to face, as it were.
I was a fanboy in the early days, 2017, 2018, when you
Yeah,
was a
yeah. I was only a few years
Twitter
in,
Twitter superstar, and I was a mere peasant on the platform.
but yeah, you grew really quickly with your collecting all the PAL games and just sharing stuff about the N64. Your popularity really grew. So it's really great to actually speak with you and see you.
Thank you. The feeling is mutual.
Cheers. The podcast is about memories. So I really wanted to find out about your early days and what got you into the N64 back in the late 90s.
All right, so growing up, I was a Sega kid through and through. My first console was the Sega Master System, then I followed that with Sega Mega Drive. And things changed for me when I started seeing the screenshots of Dolphin, Project 64. It had numerous names and they were releasing screenshots of Mario 64. And it literally blew my mind. I was thinking, I never thought like we'd get to a stage where graphics were that good. It looked like literally a movie. So I was following it closely, and I remember I bought issue one of N64 magazine, which came with a free VHS, which showcased a lot of the games. I think most of it was Mario 64, but I think it had other games that were in development, if I'm not wrong, like F-Zero. And I must have watched that video on loop for weeks on end. This was obviously pre-internet days, so we didn't have YouTube. And yeah, it just made me want it even more and more. So it was released in our region, I believe, of
Yep,
March
March
of
97,
a
yeah.
few months later. Yeah, 97. I didn't actually, or my mum didn't buy it for me until the summer. I'd finished school, so it must have been July. But I was still buying the N64 magazine, so I was keeping up with all the games that are coming out. I actually purchased ISS 64 as well, which I lost count of the times I read the manual from back to cover. I think I knew the controls before I even got to play it. So yeah, I finally got it in the summer, and it was a surreal experience, I must say. I don't think I'd for me personally, I'll ever see a leap from going from a 16-bit console to what the N64 offered us. It was just mind blowing.
Mm.
The visuals and how bigger the games were getting, like Mario 64, was just, yeah, I wish I could bottle that experience up and experience it again because, yeah, unless you were there, I mean, the current generation, they're going, yeah, it's good, but unless you were there and
Yeah,
experienced it for the first time during that era, you cannot put into words of what a game changer the console was.
yeah,
Yeah, and
absolutely.
then from there, just got me in a chokehold. I was, yeah, I had a vast collection of games. Yeah, all the big titles that were released, I would buy day one. And I just think, for me personally at the time, I know the library has a bad rep by certain people, but for me, it had everything. It had the football games, it had the wrestling games, and it had the racers, which was enough for me.
Yeah, no, I agree with that because like people point to the PlayStation having like, however many thousands of games, but nobody buys thousands of games. Nobody owns thousands of games. So to have that collection of 20, 30 games that were just top tier was perfect for most people, wasn't it?
Definitely, I agree, and I think I put so many hours into some of these games. It's like ridiculous. I wish we had the play count like we do nowadays with like the
Yeah,
modern consoles, because I would be intrigued to see how many hours I put into the wrestling games like WCW
yeah,
Revenge, WrestleMania 2000, WWF No Mercy. It was like ridiculous amount of hours.
yeah. Absolutely the same. Same with me for those. And GoldenEye, Perfect Dark. Every evening after school, weekends. Yeah, it was crazy.
I actually, another memory I clearly remember is that I got an early version of the NST copy of GoldenEye before the PAL release. So I think the PAL release was released in the winter, like November.
That's
I
right.
got it. It must have been early September because I remember it was around the same time that Princess Diana died. And the problem I had was back then we obviously needed newer modern TVs to display NSTC games, otherwise you'd get like a stuttering picture.
All right.
And the only TV in our house was downstairs in the living room, so I only got to play GoldenEye when my dad wasn't watching like football or any of his TVs.
Yeah.
So I'd relocate the console downstairs, and it's like absolute cinema. Like I said, I wish I could explain to my kids what this felt like at the time, because I
Yeah.
don't think we're going to see such a leap again
No,
in
I
our
can't.
lifetime, anyway.
You're right. I can't see how it can leap the way it did from, especially Nintendo going from 16 to 64-bit. Um, yeah, and I'm not a modern gamer at all, really. So I see Switch and Switch 2, and I'm hard pressed as to see, the difference between them. I know there are differences, but I find it very difficult to see those differences in front of me.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. I mean, I do have the modern consoles in the house, but at the moment, my free time is being taken by the analog 3D, which,
Yeah,
yeah, I guess we'll talk about on another podcast, but it's an amazing little machine.
it is, isn't it? Yeah, definitely save that for a future episode because there's lots to talk about with that, definitely. And so I'm under the impression there was a bit of a gap between those early N64 days and now. So what was it that got you back into the Nintendo 64?
So I moved out of my parents' house in 2011, I think it was, and I don't know what it was. I think my mum was having a spring clean, and it was, I want to say, around 2015, 2016. I went up to the attic and I found all my music albums and movie DVDs that I'd been collecting over the years, and also the last remaining bits of video games that survived that I didn't trade or give to my younger cousins, which was a PlayStation 2 original fat version. I still had the boxes, or actually the Gran Turismo box. And luckily for me, my childhood N64 again with the box and poster, everything was inside. So I had a couple of games still, I think, for it. GoldenEye, Japanese version of Mario Kart, and maybe one or two others. So I brought it down, brought it back to my house, and plugged it into one of my old school TVs and just played around. But what really got me back into it was at the time I had been an active Twitter user, but I wasn't really following any retro gaming accounts. So I was mainly using it for sports and news. So I started following one or two, you probably being one of them too, and it just spiraled from there, to be honest. Seeing all, I think you'll understand, or any of your listeners will, when you see people post their new purchases on X or Twitter, like it was called that, then it just triggers something in your mind saying, I want to buy more, I want to buy more.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You see someone with, they get a bargain. You're like, I've got to go after one. I've got to hunt one. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's really great.
Yeah, I mean, you're happy for the first part. You're also envious too. You're envious. So yeah, I need to do that. So from that point, um, Twitter basically become an enabler, which I think a lot of people can relate to. I started googling how many PAL releases were there in the UK, and I think I want to say 238 was it, or
Something like that.
34,
Yeah, yeah.
something along those lines. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So at first it was like a little joke between me and the mutuals on Twitter saying, "Yeah, I'm going for a full set," and before I know it, I was actually going for the full set. It got to the point where I was determined to do it. I would be checking eBay listings, checking the CEX website for stock. Luckily for me, I went for the cart only route because, as we know, Nintendo cardboard is absolutely ridiculously
Yeah.
priced. I would have probably had to remortgage to get some of these games. So I went the cart only route, and I think it took me maybe 2 years to get every game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you had to go cart only because finding a box in good condition is tough, really, really tough. Absolutely. I mean, funny enough, the
Yeah,
Japanese boxes they seem to keep them really, really nice out there. I don't know how, but they did.
yeah, they're just on another level when it comes to their care, how they look after their stuff. But yeah, so it was a no-brainer for me to go cart only. As much as I'd love a completed box set, and there are some collections, full libraries I see where the games are all near mint, and it's just a beautiful sight. But for me, I didn't really think that was feasible, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. Right. So tell me a little bit more about the games you got from Australia to complete your PAL set back in the day a few years ago.
Okay, so my plan was from day one to only collect the UK PAL set. Then someone on X, it was a few people got in my ear saying, "Oh, there's like 4 exclusive Oz releases," and I thought, "No, I'm not interested. Not going to do it. Not going to do it." Then it started eating at me saying, "Look, I've got what the 230 odd UK games. So for the sake of 4 more, let's do it." So yeah, the very, very pricey, especially StarCraft 64.
Mm.
I think that's possibly power-wise the most expensive game on the system, if we're not including the blockbuster US games.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got those. I had to get those, and the majority of those games directly from Australia. So yeah, it was a bit of a headache, but I finally got it done, and yeah, it was a relief at the end, to be honest, not having to check the CEX app daily, not having
Yeah.
to check check eBay, and yeah, happy to say I've got the full set. I'm just need to create more space in my man cave to have all the sets out. I'm lucky enough to also have the console variants too, with the two Pokemon, and all the colors,
Yeah.
colored consoles. So yeah, just looking forward to the day where I can display it all as one. And I think I'm going to go down the route of probably downgrading a lot of my non
Oh,
my non N64 stuff
yeah.
to make room for it. So
Question is, how many of those have you played them all, tested them all?
I'll be completely honest. I've probably not even powered on about 3 or 4, but they look beautiful. That's the main thing for me. Just
Yeah, yeah.
looking at them.
I know. I've seen that. I've seen the picture of them all stacked up. It does. It looks brilliant. It really does. Have you got a
Yeah.
particular favourite game from back in the day? The one that just it is the one from your past that you love so much.
If you were to press me and say one game, it would probably have to be No Mercy. for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
WWF No Mercy. Like I mentioned earlier in the episode, I put a ridiculous amount of time into these um, AKA games, and at the time when these wrestling games first came out, I'd kind of grown out of wrestling, like real life, and never really followed it. But these games got me back into watching WCW and
Yeah.
WWF. But for me, No Mercy was a perfect game. Multiplayer, single player. I remember my best friend used to come around regularly, and we just used to play to the early hours of the morning and
Yeah.
never get bored of it. And to this day, it's probably one of the few games where I know the controls with my eyes closed.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's there's new mods coming out. People are adding features to it, and um, there's a lot of what ifs with N64. But for me, the biggest one was there was reportedly a sequel of No Mercy coming out, and there was a screenshot in one of the N64 magazines, but it got cancelled. I
Yeah. I
think
heard that. Yeah.
30-40% into the and there would have been like a Hell in a Cell match, and it's just what could have been.
I know. I know. Well, yeah.
But
But I get it. By that time, the N64 was on its last legs. It wouldn't have come out till probably after the GameCube. So I can see why they moved production. Just
yeah,
it would have been great to just have one more. But you're right. Like N60, No Mercy, Revenge, absolutely fantastic games, weren't they? Still are. Can still play those like no time has passed. Absolutely.
they're just perfect. Once you learn the controls, they're just perfect. And I
Yeah.
don't think modern wise, I don't think anything has come close. I think there was a AEW game by supposedly the same makers that come out a couple of years ago, but
Yeah.
it was nowhere near the
Yeah, I
magic that
tried it as
we
well.
had.
I was seduced by this idea that it was going to replicate that sort of No Mercy controls and gameplay, but he didn't really do it that much, did he? I don't think I've picked it up in a long, long time. Just go.
What I must also say too, I think wrestling wise, that was probably one of the main things we had over PS1 players. They didn't have anything that came anywhere near. And I remember my best friend had a PlayStation and he bought a WCW Nitro thinking it was going to be
Awful,
on
wasn't
the same level as World Tour, and
it?
it was nowhere near,
Yeah, no,
nowhere.
it was awful.
I
Well,
actually,
there's a version of it on the N64, isn't there,
I
in
actually
America?
played it. I
Awful.
was showing my kids the old wrestling games, so I actually put it on last week on the analog, and the frame rate was ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah, it's one of the worst games I think on the N64. Complete cash in. I think they were just about to get the WWF license or something, so they cashed in one last time on the WCW. It was terrible.
Yeah, so I stick by my choice. No mercy.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. I just one last thing I wanted to talk to you about was I wanted to bring up Lilac Wars and Star Fox 64 as it's known elsewhere, really.
Yeah.
Because it's a game like I don't think I appreciated it properly at the time. I bought it, I had it, I loved it, but I don't know. I feel like I underappreciated it, and I need to get back into that and really, really do a deep dive on it because I think it's a phenomenal game.
So I'll be completely frank with you. I'd never played the previous NES version. I'd seen it, and I think at the time it was a groundbreaking because I think it was one of the first games to use the FX chip in the SNES
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
3D graphics. But I did. I think by that time we weren't getting that many blockbuster games released on the N64, so it was a day one purchase for me.
mm,
And I remember going to Toys R Us in Enfield, North London, to get it. And one of the perks of pre-ordering it was you had like a movie-size poster of the game given to you. I remember getting
yeah,
on the bus with the game, the bigger game with the Rumble Pack,
yeah, yeah,
which is
yeah.
also a game changer, and the poster in a tube.
Nice.
Um, so yeah, I put many hours into it, and that was my first experience of the series. I loved it. I think I lost count of the times I completed the story mode, but it was very fun, especially multiplayer, and it still holds up to this day. I know N64, a lot of games get criticised for the controls, like modern day controls, like GoldenEye, for instance. People
Yeah,
struggle with it. But I think that's definitely one of the pick up and go games you can just pick up and play with your kids, your mates coming round.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it still surprises me how much they could actually get on these cartridges because I know you're going to laugh, but I know there's repeated voices, but there's actually voice acting in it,
Yeah,
which
that's right.
not that common in N64
No,
games. But
especially the early ones as well.
yeah, I loved it, and I still put it on now and again. It was brilliant. It's a shame we didn't get a sequel to it on the N64. I don't know
Yeah.
whether was there one plan that maybe moved to the GameCube,
I,
possibly.
I don't know. Well, that
Didn't it?
GameCube got Star Fox Adventures, didn't it? But that was not
Yeah, I'm
cool.
sure there was one being worked on the DD, and it ended up being a different game on the GameCube,
Oh,
maybe.
right, okay.
Yeah, it's yeah, definitely top 10 for me games, and
Yeah,
yeah, so much fun, just pure arcade fun.
yeah,
Really,
absolutely. And the different routes, and then there was the 3DS remake, which I got, and again, I really enjoyed it. But just, I don't know, I feel like I'm not missed out on it because I played it, I completed it, but I really didn't do a deep dive into it like I probably should have done back in the day. So I
I
think that's
think
on my
it's
to-do list.
I think it's been added to the Switch Online, if I'm not
Yeah, yeah,
mistaken
yeah,
as
it is.
well.
Yeah,
I just, for me, like it will always be the Lilac Wars. I never understood. I know it was a copyright infringement law, but I just think they could have come up with a better name than
well,
that.
I think what annoyed me at the time was it was Starwing on the SNES. So why wasn't it Starwing 64?
Yeah,
It didn't make sense to me. And yeah, I didn't like the Lilac Wars at the time. I really disliked it, and felt like Star Wing 64 or something. Lilac Wars just felt like too much like they were doing a Star Wars. I don't know. I don't know.
great name. I think it's they nailed it with that. It was just the story, the gameplay, the
Yeah,
cutscenes, everything.
phenomenal game. It really is, really is. Right, it's been great speaking to you, mate. Thank you very much.
You're
I'm
welcome.
hoping to invite you back on. Like you say, we can talk about the analog 3D next time as well, and our
Yeah,
experiences with that because we've both got one and we've both been enjoying them, haven't we?
brilliant. It's just a shame they keep releasing new colours now because
Yeah, I noticed
I
that. Yeah,
kind of want them all to go with the original console.
I
But yeah,
know.
fantastic machine, and they're updating it on a regular basis. They just need to add the updating via Wi-Fi to make your life easier, and
Yeah, it
then
would.
it will
Yeah,
be
yeah.
golden.
That would be really helpful. We'll see if that ever materialises. I haven't updated it at all yet, but I need to get that done. Right, thanks a lot. It's great speaking to you. Hope to speak to you soon. See ya. Bye.